I'm Robby.
And I'm Lilli.
And this is Faster Class.
It's like a master class.
But faster.
And without masters.
Or class. And we are here today with Gertner.
Look at that face.
Who doesn't have a master's or class.
That's true.
That's why we invited you.
Welcome, Jared. Right now, Jared is doing the Book of Mormon. And he is the standby for Cunningham.
True.
Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. The Book of Mormon is a new musical, and it's written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who wrote South Park, South Park, and Robert Lopez, who is one of the co-creators of Avenue Q, and directed by Casey Nicholaw. It's about two Mormon guys who go on their mission to Uganda to try and convert people to Mormonism, and one of them is the sort of all-American, perfect Mormon, and the other is sort of a schlubby mess of a Mormon, and that is the part that I stand by for.
And so standby, how is that different from being an understudy?
Standbys are on principal contract versus chorus contract.
Nice.
And our job is to be there at the theater to stand by and wait to see if we have to go on for this role. So if anything happened to Josh Gad, who plays Elder Cunningham brilliantly, then I would go on in his place.
So the show didn't have any tryout anywhere before its opening in New York.
Right. Well, they did 2 workshops here in the city, 2 full workshops, and they had some presentations for friends and industry, and people got to come see it. And so they learned a lot that way.
So were you involved with the show at all before the Broadway production?
No, there was never really a place for me in the show. I had auditioned for a reading of it at one point. Basically, the only role that I'm right for in the show is Elder Cunningham, and Josh Gad has been involved with it for a long time. When they decided, okay, we're going to Broadway, and they found out that was happening, they created this extra position of standby for Elder Cunningham, and I was like, okay, maybe that's my way into the room.
And did you see a posting for that and think, oh, I should audition again? Were you called in?
No, they called me in. I was working in Detroit at the time, and they said, we're having this call, you just have to come in this one day for the whole team, and we know he's flying in, so what time could he come in? They were really accommodating, and I said I could be there like between 1 and 2, and they made my appointment, and I flew in, and I auditioned and got the job the next day.
And when they're that accommodating, you sort of know going in that they really want you to be good.
Yeah, well, you never really know going in anything, so it's best to not ever go in there thinking either you have it or you don't. You just do your thing. But what I've learned, I've been a reader and a monitor for auditions and things, and what I've learned is that they always want you to be good. I think that's a problem that people have with auditions sometimes is they get this idea that the people behind the table are like, go ahead, impress us, and they're all just there to be negative. But the truth is, a lot of people don't like holding auditions, and they are really hoping that the next person who comes in the room is the guy that they can hire. They're really hoping each person, oh, maybe this is the person, and then we know, and then we're done with that part. So it's good to know that when you go in. They're not hoping you fail, they're hoping you're great.
How did you get involved with monitoring and reading?
I had a friend who was a casting director, and we had grown up together in New Jersey, and I think I just sort of put it out to her at one point. I would really like to do this because I thought this would be such a great education.
Yeah.
It's so great. It's such a great way to learn, to watch people audition, because when you're in it, you're in just a big bubble of crazy, and there's no way to really accurately know how you're doing or how anything is happening in that room. And you leave and you're like, I think I just auditioned for a show, but I don't know what happened. So watching other people, I learned a ton, including monitoring when you're outside the room, but you're getting to see people in the hallway. And I will tell you, you're being watched from as soon as you show up. There are people who come in who have huge attitudes about whatever's going on. I can't believe I'm waiting this long. And many times the monitor will tell the casting director that, like, this person out there is not. So just be a good person always. To everybody, even the monitor, be a good person to everybody, and it will help you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It says here you went to NYU.
I did. I went to NYU, Tisch School of the Arts.
Cap 21.
I studied musical theater at Cap 21, which was the musical theater studio at the time at Tisch. Well, the nice thing is I was going to school.
Oh, you were already in the city.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is...
That's
another good thing about going to NYU is
good choice.
You're here, and then you graduate, and...
You're still here.
You're still here. You don't have to do that, like, okay, I've graduated, now I have my big move to New York. Not only was I still here, but all my classmates, or a lot of them, were still here. And so I had a real, like an instant support system, and I didn't have to go through that phase in your early 20s when you're like, I'm in New York and I don't know what to make of it. I got to just go right into working. I got to go right into auditioning and right into doing what I wanted to do.
And how did you support yourself at first when you came out of college? Did you have to have an awful fallback job?
I did.
What'd you do?
That was survival job, we like to call it.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't fall back.
No, I didn't. Still haven't. I waited tables. It was hard. It was a really hard time, and luckily I got work very quickly. And I went out and I did this TheaterWorks tour, and I did a couple other small things, and I was like, okay, I could do this. This is great. I'm acting. And then I hit a point about a year later where nothing was happening. And I had 7 months that I called the Dark Ages in 2003. And I was waiting tables then at the Chelsea Brewing Company at Chelsea Piers. And I wasn't getting any callbacks. Nothing was happening. I mean, it was really, really bad.
And did you have representation at that point? Were you going out on things? Or were you
I
still
did.
looking
I did. I got an agent, luckily, right out of NYU. We did an industry night where we got to sing for a bunch of agents and casting directors, and so I got my agent then, and I'm still with her, and she's been so incredible for me. And
Tell us who she is.
It's Penny Lutke at the Lutke Agency, and that's Luedtke.
Oh, hi Penny.
Hi Penny, and she's
watch this.
Been incredible. She's always been so supportive, even in that time when I wasn't working. She kept saying, "It's fine, it'll happen." And at the end of that 7 months, I booked 4 jobs in 2 weeks. And then I could only do one of them. I chose a play that was happening in Cincinnati, and I haven't had to do anything but act since, which has been really great. It was just a question of I just had to get through that rough time. So I would go on every EPA and every chorus call that was out there. EPA is an equity principal audition, which the Actors Equity Association is the professional stage actor and stage managers union, and they hold these auditions. So for every show has to do EPAs and chorus calls. They have to allow everyone to get in, not just appointments. So you get up and you stand outside the building at like 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Guys usually 7, girls have to get there at like 6, and they're in like makeup and hair.
Girls.
Girls, I know. But anyway, so I would go to these auditions for everything. I would go to whatever I was even remotely right for, and then I would tell my agent, just so you know, I auditioned for this or this, and I gave them my resume with your phone number on it, so they might call you if I get a call back or whatever. Because I still don't believe that you should just wait and let your agent do the job for you. And I have friends who sit home and they wait for their agent to call, and it doesn't serve you. I write directors if I see someone I know is directing a show that I want to be in, or if a theater I've worked for is doing a show that I have always wanted to do or think sounds interesting. I'll write someone there and say, hey, I work there, whenever, remember me? I'd love to get in for this audition. Please call my agent if you have a slot.
What's the etiquette about that? If you're somebody that hasn't worked at a theater, can you just call, or not call, but could you
can send
email
your
the
stuff in?
director?
Sure. I mean, you can always send your stuff in. You can always. Emailing personally is difficult, but if you have, if there's a website and there's some way to get their email address. But you have to...
Do you have to say things like, you have to be like, I would be great in this.
Think about any idea how talented I am? No. I mean, you don't say that kind of stuff, but you want to just get the point across that you're really interested and that you just like to get the chance to come in for them. Not cast me in the show. Just give me the chance to get in the room. Give me the chance to come in and do these sides for you, to sing this song for you. And if it works, then great. And if it doesn't, then that's okay too. But I'd really like a chance. And so you just find the best way to phrase that so you don't sound like a jerk.
Or a beggar.
Or beggar, right.
So you said that you would let them know if there were roles that you were like really, really itching to do. What are they now? What do you still want to do that you haven't gotten to do yet?
I had a list of shows that I always wanted to do, and I had done You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown as a teenager, and I wanted to do that again as an adult. And
did it happen?
It hasn't yet. There were definitely roles I'd like to do, like Nicely in Guys and Dolls, and then Nathan Detroit, like 25 years later. There are those roles you think about, but I think what I realized very early on is that I am I'm specific, what the industry calls specific.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say a soubrette.
I'm a soubrette.
Yes.
I don't even know what that means.
Saucy women.
So
They're curvy.
Right. Well, that's mine. Yeah. I learned that I'm specific, which means there isn't a role for me in every show. I don't tumble. I don't do backflips. There are things that the shows I'm never going to be in. And so I started, teaming up with young writers, and I do lots of concerts and readings and things where I get to sing new material, and every once in a while one of those readings will turn into a job, and like Ordinary Days, which is a show I did at Roundabout, I did the very first reading of it and in a small room. That's my goal now. The roles I want to play are the roles that no one has played yet.
And that they will write for you.
Right, or at least that I'll be the first one to get to say them, to get to say
Yeah.
these words. And so, we did a cast album of Ordinary Days, and so little 13-year-old me who was sitting in his room like learning musicals by heart by listening to the CDs, like I have one of those now, and so that's really been the goal. And now I'm going to be, I'm in the original Broadway cast of Book of Mormon. I'm standing by, so I guess maybe my next goal would be to create a role in an original Broadway cast, so to be the first guy.
Good plan.
Hey, yeah, that's my goal.
So, you brought your book with you.
I did.
And I think we would love to hear you sing some stuff from it.
Okay.
Let's go to the piano. So, one of the songs that's in your book is I Chose Right from Baby.
True.
Hi, Maltby and Shire.
Hello, guys.
We love them too.
On what occasions would you bring the song into audition?
So I actually do this song a fair amount. The other thing is it's not usually sung by sort of a character guy. So what's nice is I go in there with one energy, and I usually, I do my sides, and often they're funny or quirky or what have you. And then I have this song. It's really straightforward, really honest, and so I love to sing it, and I've booked jobs with it. So.
Ooh, what jobs have you booked with it?
Well, one that pops out is Little Shop of Horrors at the Paper Mill Playhouse, which was a big job for me and one of the things I'm most proud of, and I played Seymour. And it's interesting because a lot of people go in for Seymour as like, I'm falling all over the place, and I'm so strange and nerdy. And I luckily had gotten a tip from the casting director that the director was looking for someone really sort of honest and straightforward as Seymour. And I went in and I sang this song, and it worked.
Now, when you've had auditions in the past, would you take this stuff to a coach and coach it, or do you have like?
Yeah, I mean, the few songs in here that I do the most consistently I've coached on all of them, and so I feel like I basically understand. The danger with having songs in your book that you sing consistently is you get into a real habit with them. And when you say, smile, you always go like that. Like you get into this thing, and then they can see that, and you go to the audition, and it really reads that you've planned out every move. Whether you know it or not, it becomes very robotic. And so I often try and just do something new with a song each time I do it. Just try something new, or do like when I get to the bridge, I'm just gonna see what happens, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be as prepared as possible, but also to leave a little bit of room for play, Okay,
Oh,
should
that's
we sing?
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes. Bring it.
freely.
Okay. As I leave my single life behind, thoughts are kind of spinning in my mind. First I think about you, then I think about me loving you, then I think about you and me deciding we should be one. It's crazy, I know. I wrestled with my pillow all last night. Then I look at you, and I know I chose right. Life's a very long road, and the crossroads come up right away. And it's sure hard to know which way to go when you've barely begun. And oh, the roads you leave behind can shine so bright. Then I look at you, and I know I chose right. Now maybe we don't mean that much, you and I, and maybe our balloons will never fly, and maybe no one cares if we let things go by, and maybe it doesn't matter if we live or die. But if I'm making promises to you today, I want to know I'll keep them all the way. And if I've not been good at meaning what I say, it's time now to try. So I think about you, and I think about me loving
gonna love it with all my might. And I will be true. I will follow this through. Then I look at you. And I know I chose right.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Hey.
Well done.
It's just fun to sing. It's really important that you find a song that you just really enjoy doing.
All right, well, I think we're about ready to wrap this up, so thank you so much for coming and
Yeah,
playing with us, Jared.
Pleasure.
Oh, we can't wait to Facebook you.
Yay.
Yay, you'll friend us, right?
Sure.
You heard it here first, guys.
Thank you for not pressing charges, for telling the judge that you didn't see.
Okay, and that is JAREDGERTNER.com.
So good.
Yeah,
Glad you spell my name out.
I was actually a spelling bee champion.
So was I, 750 times.
Yeah, I think you just got trumped.
Yeah, we had so much fun playing with you. And have fun in Book of Mormon.
Thanks, come see it, Eugene O'Neill Theater.
Yes, go
But
see
ask your
it.
parents first.
Make it run forever. All right, thank you, Jared.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, ending is awkward.
Yeah.
We need like a mouth organ or awkward pause like a Chris Perkins.